Hello, everybody. Welcome to the late Monday night. It's going to be the Tuesday Sports Algorithm podcast. It's only 11 p.m. on Monday night, 28th. We're going to do a little recap of some Monday stuff. Only 2 days left of me doing this. I know I'm beating a dead drum or whatever on this, but I'm not doing it anymore. It's so much work. I want to be honest with you. Like, you can't not focus a lot on this when you have to focus on doing four sports: college basketball, NBA, NHL, and NFL, a game that's still going on right now, making them better because I want to provide you with an optimal product that's going to be winning. So it becomes not fun after going hard for like a week on this is fun. And then like week two was like, wow, this is a long month. This has been the longest November I can ever remember in the history of Novembers of my life. And they're supposed to feel shorter as you get older. This was the longest, and it's not even over. I mean, it's still 2 days away. So it's been the longest. It's because every day I've had to monitor all of these. But I have gotten good at monitoring and I've gotten good at assessing kind of how to bet with straight bets. And that's at least successful. But I'm moving on and moving away from sports. But let's have fun with it while it's still here, you know? While she's still around, let's have a good time. Okay, so let's do it. Um, First of all, college basketball, which is usually the best. Let's start with college basketball. Instead, then we'll wait for football and stuff to end. We're gonna have fun with Google because she's my only friend, and she's not even a woman anymore. They changed her voice to a man. They wouldn't let me change it back. All woke and stuff. Soon Derek Pachai. All right, let's go here. Hey Google, Minnesota versus Virginia Tech college basketball score.
They lost 67-57 today against Virginia Tech.
Did they really? Algorithm does a fairly good job. I thought that Virginia Tech would have more points apparently, and they didn't. Louisiana Monroe college basketball score. Oh, that didn't work. Tulane college basketball score.
They won 75-60 today against Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah, they did. That's fairly good prediction. Columbia versus Marist. Couldn't catch that. Columbia versus Marist college basketball score.
The final score was 52-39 Marist.
Whoa, 39? Was this football? Is this women's? What is this? No, it says men's. Son of a gun. 39-52. Okay. Although I guess our scores maybe are looking a little high because of the change in percentage adjustments I did. McNeese State college basketball. McNeese State college basketball score. All congested. Can't even
The final score was 86-83 Tennessee Martin.
As I say that, the score was higher. Incarnate Word college basketball score. It said R, not word. Didn't get it right. Not Garnet Word. Incarnate Word college basketball score. Incarnate Word.
The final score was 68-62 UTSA.
Texas San Antonio wins against Incarnate Word. Omaha versus Mississippi State college basketball score. Is that Ole Miss?
The final score was 74-54 Mississippi State.
Okay. Then we have Texas Southern. That's a really good prediction right there. Sorry, Google. Texas Southern versus Kansas.
Texas Southern lost 87-55 today against Kansas.
Southeast Missouri State versus Milwaukee college basketball score. Southeast Missouri State college basketball score.
They lost 84-68 today against Milwaukee.
Yeah, they did. Milwaukee, big win there at a reasonable line. Troy versus Arkansas college basketball.
They lost 74-61 today against Arkansas.
Pittsburgh versus Northwestern college basketball score.
The final score was 87-58 Pittsburgh.
Ooh. Okay. Longwood versus San Diego college basketball score.
They lost 71 to 68 today against San Diego.
Pacific versus Cal Poly college basketball score.
They're leading Cal Poly 37 to 28 in the second half.
All right. So this Longwood game actually ended. Yeah, I think it did. It's now past 11. So we have scores and we have just 3 games going, 2 of which we have underdogs, I believe, in Seattle, Sam Houston. And here we had the favorite of Pacific, and they are winning. So let's take a look at the college basketball day after we just grabbed our scores. I made you all suffer through that so I can get watch hours. It's still looking pretty good. And our underdogs so far today have only lost. They lost by 3, so they still covered. And they're way down at the bottom. That's okay. Teams covering way down here at the bottom, especially away. So that's just saying that the home bump needed to just be 2% to clean that up, if that's a true home game. And then you go 11-2, right? And you just lose Northwestern, who is a little bit injured. And you lose Virginia Tech loses to Minnesota. Did I type that in right? Virginia Tech versus Minnesota college basketball score.
They won 67 to 57 today against Minnesota.
I typed it in wrong. See how it's so easy to find errors? Because the algorithm's right? Of course. Nice. Well, for all of you who were screaming at me, I guess in the beginning of the video when I typed that wrong and saw that and was like, is he ever going to figure this out? And you stuck it out. I did. So did I type Northwestern right? Northwestern versus Pittsburgh college basketball score.
The final score was 87 to 58 Pittsburgh.
It was. And we had Northwestern at home, and so did everybody else. Okay. All right. And you got games going on, and we have 2 underdogs. 8-5 on the spread. How do you not make a fortune? I guess if you're me and you don't bet and you're working on payroll and working on Twitter podcasts and you're not paying attention with money all day like you're supposed to be. That's how you don't make. Although these lines are not great. I mean, don't get me wrong, but you do have that's at a 2% bump. I gave you a 0, but we understand about that. Actually, the way to look at that is to do 0% bump at home teams only, or 10-1, and Northwestern loses. And even Tulane somehow wins injured, but this one was too close to call, and it was awful as well. They lose by 30. So I wonder if their injuries actually changed or something, because that's weird. The way to go in would be to look at Northwestern specifically, just to see. I mean, because there's a 41% was out, but what was the injury? Undisclosed. I don't know. Something clearly happened in that game, but that's the only one off so far, right? So that's pretty good day so far. And it's looking like, yeah, 2% bumps the magic number so far today. And the specific game, which is at home, doesn't matter what the bump is really, because they would be favored anyway. Sam Houston, same thing in those games going on. All right, that's enough college basketball. Now let's stay on the basketball kick for a second though, because some of these games are over, and I'm gonna do a little NBA update. You're getting we're going out with a bang these last couple of days. We're showing you how to do everything. So if you've got the NBA algorithm, you could do what we're doing right here in the NBA algorithm. See how that one did. Colts are still losing with the ball though in the 4th quarter by a touchdown. That's getting funny. For football. Okay, so NBA. So today you had a Timberwolves Wizards game, and Wizards put up tons of points and win. The Hawks lose to the Sixers barely. So we get their score exactly right, but their defense doesn't hold up. Sixers put up more. So the Sixers injuries at 52%, maybe some of those people played. Who knows? Charlotte 105, 140 Boston. Cleveland. Did Cleveland? No, Cleveland does not win. That was one Algrim said that we're going to win. OKC does not win. Algrim said they might have won. New Orleans wins. And Orlando loses to Brooklyn, which I think would have made sense with his Brooklyn number right on the nose there. Okay, so games are still going on, and they're kind of getting close to ending. So we might revisit this in a second because it looks like the Bulls are beating Utah, and it looks like Denver is definitely going to beat Houston. So I'll call that game right now. It's something like that, it's going to be something like this. And then the Bulls right now are 110, 100 with 2 minutes left. All right. So what that does for NBA shows that loss for Cleveland up here and a loss for Atlanta, but these are really weird injury percentages. Those are super, super low. We're used to dealing with teams like this, 80s, maybe 70s, 90s, 90s, 80s, not this stuff. This is really heavily, people are super out as shown by what's going on in here. So like these people are flat out. Chris Levert ankle, plus watch out for illness, although it didn't affect the Nuggets today because I think they crushed it. They were fine. That didn't matter. They had a much better margin. So yes, it's looking like a choppy day basically for NBA, but I do have tomorrow's NBA. I also have tomorrow's college basketball, but I'm gonna wait. I'm just gonna send that to people who paid. So tomorrow's NBA here has basically the odds makers in order, which makes me not want to waste my time and update it tomorrow. So there you go. It says Knicks, Blazers, and Mavericks. And let's go on to NHL, and then we'll finish with the football game. So we've got hockey, and in hockey, yesterday was basically a perfect day except lost. I think the last game, the Ottawa and late, the late game between Ottawa and LA. Here's hockey 6-5. Tampa Bay beat Buffalo today. Toronto wins 4-2 against Detroit. The Devils were the pick of the day. They win 5-3 to get to their 5 goals. The Knights barely hold on and win 3-2. Dallas wins 4-1. Florida and Edmonton are tied right now. No way. Everything's a win? Kidding? Yeah, actually, that's right. Because it had Toronto over Detroit. I talked myself into betting Detroit because I like Husso and I went with the pick rank. But the pick rank changes, but this doesn't change. The adjusted power doesn't change, which is why this is related to adjusted power. When it says, did it win or lose the game? It's talking about this right here. Not even the projected score. It's looking at which adjusted power is bigger. So you can see Toronto's was 47 and Detroit was 44. So it's a win because Toronto won the game. The pick rank looked different. Let me see what happens when the score is not in here. Okay. All the scores that we just had, because it's dynamic, it's really weird. Go back, you refresh. Watch how this right here. Oh no, it already changed. Sorry, I don't even have to do it, right? Yeah, it has Detroit as the 5th pick right now because this history just changed, right? Well, let's go backwards a second. Watch this history. They're the 5th pick right now. Now let's put the scores back. Now let's go back and look again. No, now they're the 7th pick. What happened? It's because their streak of how many they won in the last 15 days just changed, and that changes their streak percentage and changes the pick rank. That's why. So that's why it looks better than it was over here. You need to pay attention to these numbers that are not changing whenever we update the history. So that's kind of a brief synopsis of how the database of hockey works, because I do a million things all day. All right, so now let's talk about the 19th, which is Tuesday. 2 days left to go doing this every day for all these sports, everybody. This video is exhausting for me. I can't imagine who's still watching this. It's too exhausting to do this every day, guys. It is way, way too much for one human being to want to. You have no other focus when like it's going on. You're like, I could be updating it because I got to present this to everybody all the time. It's the way I look at it. Never again am I promising that I am updating any sport for a month for anyone. That is what I learned with this experiment in November. Now, what do we do here on Tuesday? It's not on my mind right now, but the algorithm says the Islanders over the Flyers. It's only minus 175. And it also says Seattle over LA. I believe that because Seattle's playing really good and they looked it. And LA just got smacked around a little by Ottawa. So here you go with the streak factor. So those are some hockey picks. Now, football. Has this game ended yet? Because football I have to talk about with everybody. Oh my goodness. NFL. Score of that game is over. And it's an upset. It is. Oh, what happened in this game too? There was a score last night. I didn't even update that. Green Bay lost to Philadelphia 33-40. And now the Colts lose. Of course the Colts lose. I didn't bet on the Colts because I'm not stupid. Even though the algorithm said take them. Now, the yeah, I don't bet against the Steelers in a game where you you got an underdog line with them. So what happened? So Steelers defense held up, and Colts they don't score. I know there was a fumble on like the 1 yard line. I watched that game for a few minutes while I was cooking. I was like, I'm feeling better. I can eat. I was like, all right, I'll watch a bit of the third quarter. And Indianapolis was chucking it. I was like, I'm so glad I didn't bet on football today. But that's what happened. It's a pretty good week still. I love that that's at least a Monday night game. So if you were betting Sunday, you had a much cleaner look at the board. And it had Cleveland the other way around in the video I did. This was a last minute injury adjustment that moved this game barely. And I don't know. I feel like Brady is getting older. We can't deny father time. So, all right. Well, what about week 13? For those of you stuck out this video, I could just click on it right now. Something comes up, and you're like, wait a minute, is this done? No, it's not done. It's actually super old. This week 13 was probably done like 6 weeks ago when I was running full on simulations in the queue. So I'm almost like I want to get rid of it, but it's kind of cool to have there as a little placeholder. So it's like hanging out right here as week 13. I had week 14, I got week 15. We really need to redo all these. Let's get real. We need to redo all of them. I like to leave some formulas in here as placeholders, but we need to redo starting, I guess, right here, right? From week 13, we definitely need to do the rest of this. So we can clear all that out. And I'm going to redo that and start that, but that takes some time. And it needs to be done before Thursday's game, right? Because we're so plan on that happening by Thursday. Because no, actually, no, that'll happen on Wednesday. It'll happen on Wednesday because that's the end of November, and a lot of the NFL updates are going to be it's like one video a week, and it's just going out to subscribers. And then I'll just post a video. I'm not going to track sports but you're going to see me do so much fewer sports videos. I'm sorry, guys. Things are moving into businesses and other things that I've just learned from this that it is like anything in life. Too much of anything is bad. And to do this right, I almost see this as like, it's given me a better idea. Stress always gives you a better idea. So the stress of doing this has made me realize that one, I would never want to do this as like a job. Like sports betting as a job. Well, absolutely mathematically, there's a way to live bet games and use this and to just do that all the time. It is too nerve-wracking, anxious, and I don't want to risk as much as you would need to risk to make it worthwhile. All of the above, this has taught me I don't want to do it that way. But what it does make me think is like, well, what is exciting for people to do to make money? I like doing videos in a lot of different areas when it comes to making money, like in the stock market and stock options, like controlling money by accounting applications that I've built for payroll and tax, like a lot of things related to money and tech in different ways to make it and different things you can almost do from home, like you can sports bet from home in your phone and you can trade stock options from home, or your phone anywhere you want to be. So all those things that you can do, I like to say, well, if you were to take a foray into sports betting for like a week, right? And you wanted to go like, I got $500. I want to do something for a week and I'm willing to risk it, but I'm also going to try to have a great return and really focus on something and learn something. If you want to do that big, well, grab the college basketball algorithm, learn how to update this thing, and you're going to see it spit out days like this all the time. And you're going to be like, all right, well, how do I bet these games in a way so that I can be profitable and how much do I want to risk? That's up to you. I don't want to spend all this time trying to figure all that out. I just like the fact that this thing crushes life. And I wrote a program that predicts scores at games and basically annihilates it. Most of the time, not all the time. Nobody's perfect. No robot's going to be perfect. No robot's going to be complete, but we're all just out there trying to do the best we can, especially in something like this that is an imperfect numerical science because you have real world conditions that are changing all the time. I still find excitement. I get amazed when I see stuff like this. And I'm looking for that elusive, 45-0 day or something that we have one day. And I could be like, wow. Because we're picking off underdogs. Well, we'll see, actually. We'll see if we're picking off underdogs. But we probably will. It's just the nature of it. And also look at margin of victory, here as well. Like it's just this one-off game. Seattle's tied and Pacific's winning. Okay, Nevada's up by 8. So same Houston not having it so far. But things ain't over. All right. So that's the podcast for Monday going into Tuesday. Let's look at Tuesday college basketball because you're still with us. Even though I said I wasn't gonna do it. Go fast. It's right here. Like, okay, what are our underdogs? No bone. We got a 185 and a 146. VMI away. Central Connecticut State against Brown home though. Only a 1% margin. 5 and then a 9% margin of Wichita State on the road at home. Sorry, at home. That's strong. Better strength of schedule. Why are they a dog? Missouri. It's got a big name, I guess. But that's a 9% margin at home. So that's like just raw algorithm pick of the day right there. It's that Wichita State to win at home because it's probably a true home team. All right. Good luck, everybody. May all your picks.